A few weeks ago, a random guy sent me an email telling me about his new chess website, with the goal of making our beloved turn-based game more flexible than it is in the current state. Absolutely no new update in the last 1000 years or something. He challenged me to a 1v1 on his own chess website and make a video about it. And since I'm obviously not a coward, I accepted. The rules are very simple, and I actually don't even know what the rules are. What kind of gamer reads the tutorial anyway? Choose your spells. So it's probably like spell chess on chess.com, but instead we can choose the spells. And of course I'm not going to read any of these. We'll just go for the very top 3 squares. Let's go. We get the white pieces. E4. I'll explain the UI real fast. This is the mana gauge. We need mana to cast the spells. These numbers indicate how many manas are required to cast the corresponding spell. These purple dots indicate how many times we can cast a spell. That's all for now. E5. I have a spell that can make a piece move forward or backward, which seems like it will work very well with the minor pieces. Bishop c4. Knight f6 d3, bishop c5, bishop g5, castle, knight c3, h6. Bishop h4. For a chess game with extra stuff on the sides, this is actually quite a peaceful opening phase. Aha! So it seems like he has just used one of his spells, creating a pawn in the available area on the board. Bishop g3. Okay, now he's gonna create another pawn to trap my bishop. Yep. Well, I mean, it's fine. It's like a bishop for 2 spells trade. Probably worth it though. d6. My mana gauge is full, need to use a spell or else they are wasted. I'll transform this pawn into a knight. Ha! I lost a bishop, but my spell gave me back a knight. Everything is absolutely under control. Knight takes c4. D takes c4. Bishop e6. Take queen d2. My god, he has so many pawns. Knight c6. And in this very position, I found an absolutely amazing move. Absolutely brilliant. I mean, even though I probably should have seen that much earlier than this. You know what they say, better be late than early. He creates another pawn. Take bishop h5. This sheer amount of pawns is enough to make me puke. e4. Knight back. Unlike my opponent, it seems like my spells are a lot harder to use. I'm wasting a bunch of mana points for absolutely nothing here. e3. Queen d5 check. Long castle. Need to move my king away from those pawns. He makes his knight disappeared, and probably went to another square that I cannot see. Very obnoxious. Okay, straight up it's pretty obvious knight e7 and knight b4 attacking my queen are the 2 most logical squares, so I probably need to go back to b3. But on the other hand, maybe he already knew that I would like to go back to b3, so instead he decided to think one step forward, and actually moved his knight to a5 instead, patiently waiting for me to make the mistake. So of course I'm not going to go to b3, I'll go to e6 instead. And of course he already knew that I would know that he would know that I would know that he would know that I would know. So he put the knight on d4 instead, and then he can take my queen on e6. It's fine. There are still hopes. c6 h4 g5 knight g5. The plan is very simple. I want him to take my knight with his pawn, and then I have a spell called Queen Time. Move my bishop like a queen for 1 move, capturing the king. Knight takes g5. H takes g5. Queen takes g5 is also great. I can take his queen with my spell. Didn't happen. He knows everything I'm about to do. I'll transform it into a knight. Queen takes g5. And now I've just realized that the previous spell cost me 3 mana, which renders the queen spell uncastable for this move. I am so stupid. Resignation. You know what? It was only our first game. Second game I will read the spells, and after a few seconds of reading, let's go. e4. We get the black pieces this time. e5 knight f3 knight c6 bishop c4 bishop c5 castle knight f6. I took a lot of 1 mana spells so I can spam them this game, hopefully then can become useful. And in case you are wondering why didn't I just take whatever he was taking last game, learning from the CEO himself. It's because I'm not a coward. d4. Okay, that looks like he's blundering a pawn. What am I missing? What is happening? So apparently he used the imposter spell to switch the place of his rook with my rook to give me a check, and now I don't know what to do. Okay, I guess I'll switch back. I didn't see anything else though, kinda boring since both of us has that spell. They can always just cancel each other out. Knight g5. Can I still castle though? I can. c3. Bishop back. Nothing too crazy. Never mind. What was that for? Okay, I have no idea, but I should also do something that forces him to think. Knight slide to d6. And he slides the pawn backward. Absolutely black magic. Take d6. Bishop queen. I'll trade. F takes c3. On second thought I probably shouldn't have traded because my spells only benefit the minor pieces, but it's already too late to realize that. h6. And he makes his knight disappear. Very obnoxious. And by the way, even if the knight was on e6 my f-pawn cannot capture because it doesn't see the knight. But my bishop definitely can. Wrong square. Take knight d2. Queen e7. Knight e4. You know what? I'm actually fine with trading my queen off. King g7. That invisible spell is too annoying. If I can trade my queen off with his knight and his rook, the only practical thing he can use that spell on is his queen, because the rook is way too predictable, which makes my life a lot easier, as I will only have to deal with a single piece. Rook takes f6. Queen takes f6. Knight takes f6. King takes f6. Rook f1. King g7. Aha. There he comes. I guess he's already regretting that trade, so he chose to go for this last-ditch effort to save the game. The situation is very simple. It is either g6 or h7, and judging by the position, queen on g6 leaves a safe square on h8, which means my king has 2 safe squares, while queen on h7 is an absolute checkmate, which leaves my king with only 1 safe square. I'm not gonna think too much like last time. King to h7. And in this very position, his queen did not reappear. Resignation. Let's go. That was fun. I'm sure there has to be some sort of crazy combination of the spells. The website is called anichess.com. I'm sorry I don't know how to read that word, you guys decide that. And quite honestly, I was legitimately having fun. Next time I'll have 100% win rate for sure. But for today, we keep it a draw. Have a great day.